Okay, so what I need for Chasca is I need better sands and better goblet. Her sands, she has an attack percent goblet or sands, so that's not super bad. But the stats are substats are absolutely terrible. So the name of the game will be trying to get that fixed. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for a really good sands. Well, a much better sands, which I mean, quite literally anything could be better. Like character. I think, actually, no, I think there's one good stat on it, but it didn't roll into it at all. Yeah, so it was attack percent that had crit rate, so that's good. But at plus 16, didn't roll a single time into it. Instead, rolled the HP, defense percent, and flat defense, which is like, oh, okay, so that's trash. And then I don't even have a goblet that is actually good for her. Like, the substats for this are fine, but, like, I don't have... It needs to be on set, unfortunately, because I'm using this, which is not the best. Like, it rolled once into defense, flat defense, once into HP percent, so I could get a better one. But getting a crit rate goblet with 20% crit damage is still really good. And it has attack percent on it, so it's like, it's not terrible, and she's, uses attack percent. So it'll be hard to find something better than that without completely screwing over another character. Like, I could probably... she's crit... What's she... Where's hers again? Oh, she has crit rate, so it'd be like it'd be hard to get something better. Actually, this would be better. Actually, yeah, maybe I should I should probably pillage Eula's one, because she actually can use. Oh, but I would lose the attack percent. That was the whole kind of thing. Is like I'd lose some attack, but the crit damage is about the same, so I could swap it for Eula, because Eula can't use Elemental Mastery at all, because she's a physical damage person. So, Freeze Team, Shatter doesn't... Well, Shatter does a little bit more now. I think they did change it slightly, but getting 50 Elemental Mastery is dog shit. And she can use the extra flat HP and attack. She is on the field. Okay, so that's a little better. But now it makes it even less... makes this even more valuable, because it has crit damage on a crit rate goblet and Elemental Mastery, which will be useful for all the swirls she's going to be causing. So I need a goblet that doesn't suck, that's actually worth building. I only have 2, a defense percent and an attack. So we'll see. Let's roll them dice. And of course, I don't even get the set I want. Now, this is fine, like, because both Shilinen and Kachina, who I have kind of built. Shilinen definitely have built, but basically any of these that aren't, like, this is actually pretty good. Well, except for Elemental Mastery, that does kind of suck. Both of the characters that use this set that I have built are both Geo, and Elemental Mastery is dog shit for Geo. Ooh, that's pretty good. It'd be awesome if that was attack percent, and it had a fourth stat that was also good, but Because it could roll shit, and then it could just only roll on the flat attack. But still, that has some promise. Yeah, that is also really annoying, right? Like, I've gotten so many fucking pieces that are like, oh, okay, this would be good for Geo because it's a defense percent main stat, and like mostly the only people who rely on defense percent as a main stat besides Jin Yen are Geo. But of course, like, every fucking one of them also has Elemental Mastery, which is the most useless stat for them. Like, it's almost to the point where flat attack and flat defense are actually better for them than Elemental Mastery. Because they just don't react. Everything they do is crystallize. Everything they do is a crystallize. And the crystallizes don't help. So it's just like, why? Why? So it does kind of suck. Because it's like, I get it all the time, where it's just like, oh yeah, cool, you have this thing that's great for a Geo user. Oh, and look, there's Elemental Mastery on it. Like, so many fucking Geo pieces, so many defense percent pieces have Elemental Mastery. It's insane how often you get it. You know? And like, on good pieces, I mean. Because like, obviously, this defense percent, oh look, it's defense percent, and then the subsets are shit. But like, of the actually good ones, like, this isn't terrible. As a goblet, it's actually pretty good. You know, attack percent, crit damage. Elemental Mastery is actually good on Pyro, because Pyro actually does cause elemental reactions that do damage, and that get big bonuses from that. So having that just... Ideally, you don't want to roll into it, you want to roll more into attack percent and crit damage, but just like a roll or two into that is better than a flat stat. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. Now, the second thing is, of course, these are this is a support set, so getting like all these attack stats are generally not awesome. Let's get out of here. Let's get more condensed resin. But yeah, like, so like it's mind-boggling how often like this game fucks you over. So like, I need the other set, and there's been 2 times where I've gotten exclusively the set I don't want. Now, I'm fine with getting the other set because I still do need. I would like to stockpile that so I could, like, you know, improve upon Jillinan and Kachina to a lesser degree. But yeah, like, that's just like, it does kind of suck because like that is the name of the game, where it's like, oh hey, you want this set? Cool. We're gonna give you the exact. We're gonna give you the other set instead. Then, you know, it's like, come on, dude. Like, can you just like stop fucking me over and just give me the set I want? And so it's like, that's like so fucking common. So like, I want the attack set. Of the 5 runs, I know at least 2 of them, I think, that were just, they only had, the 5 stars were only the ones I didn't want. Only the set I didn't want. And there were a few that were like 1 and 1, which is like, statistically, that's what's more likely, right? Statistically, Yeah, statistically, it should be that. Die. So statistically, I should be getting these. It should be like 1-1, obviously, but like, yeah, it's like you know, Jesus, are you fucking kidding me? Like, as I just said, that this is the third time, because it is flipping a coin, right? So it's like, oh no, you flipped a coin, it was tails. It's like, sure, right? Like, flipping tails on this one doesn't affect flipping tails on this one. It's a 50% chance for each one, but like, of the 6 times I've done, three of them have been getting tails for both of them. So half of the runs I've done so far have been like, oh, you flipped tails twice. Both fucking times. It's like, you know, like that kind of sucks, right? So like that kind of blows, right? You're just like, come on, dude, like. It just kind of sucks a little bit. Because you're just like, come on, man, like why is it? And like, I do get it, right? It's just, I don't know if it's a survivorship bias, but it's the kind of thing where it's like, it's the kind of thing that sticks in your memory more when you get screwed. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Again, here we have, see, that might not be, well, that's terrible substats though. Actually, that's interesting substats, but still, for a circlet, it's kind of shit. Because you don't really want attack percent as a circlet, but there are uses for it. But yeah, like, so that is the 7th run. That is the 7th run where 4 of them at least had a 4 of them at least have been. So like that's the bullshit, right? Where you're just like, come on, dude. Like, statistically, this is just not likely to happen. Or, you know, over 50% of the time. So 4 of 7 runs, I've lost both rolls. Okay, so now this is obviously on the opposite end. Cool, that's what I like. And maybe there was even, like, I think there was actually, oh, an attack. Great. So I need a sans. I need an attack percent sans. I need it to be good. And this is complete fucking dog shit. Like, great, it's attack percent. Awesome. But the only stat that actually is useful for me is elemental mastery. Like, flat HP, flat defense, and defense percent. Are you fucking kidding me? They're like the shittiest, literally the shittiest stats you could get on an attack percent. Like, this is the shittiest roll you could ever get. Because for an attack percent sans, you obviously want crit rate, crit damage. I mean, you want crit rate, crit damage for pretty much everything, right? I guess the only way this could be worse is if elemental mastery was a flat attack or HP percent. Like, there's flat HP, flat attack. You can't have attack percent in substats if it's the main stat. So basically, the only way this could be worse if that elemental mastery is HP percent or flat attack. And it's just like, it's like, at this point, like, every other stat would be better. So that fucking blows. And of course, like, that's the reinforcement of the suckiness of this in general. Is that, okay, so I've been getting absolutely butt fucked because I'm just not getting the set I want, which, you know, sucked, obviously. And so because I'm not getting the set I want, so that was the 8th run. So of the 8 runs, I know 4 of them have been double fuck you, right? And so I have one that was good, but you obviously don't like remember that one. You're like, oh yeah, you got it, because what do you remember? Well, you remember getting the set you want, and then seeing that the substats are shit. So you're just like, you know, discount that. So even when you quote unquote win like this, sans, of course, it's kind of shit. Yeah, and of course the subset is absolutely, the subsets are shit, and the mean set are shit. You know, so that's the kind of thing where even if you quote unquote win by getting the set you want, you can still get fucked because Because when this shit happens, you're just kind of like, oh, fuck you. You know? Kill that. There we go. So like that's the kind of that is why this kind of sucks in general. Is simply because of how like negative it is, right? So obviously, when you're going into an artifact domain like this, you kind of want one of the sets. You could be in a rare situation, like what if you hadn't built your Jilin at all? And so it's like, oh, cool, like, I actually need both sets, because I want to build my Jilin and my Chasca. So it's like, yeah, sure, there's that, right? So you could be in a situation like that where honestly, either one of the sets would actually be good. But like, that's fairly uncommon. Yeah, so as this now, freaking going now, in between. That way I don't have to... See, doing it in the middle is like, I don't really need it in the middle. There we go. Oh, you topped off? Top you off, there we go. So like, that's the kind of the... So, maybe you're in that situation where both, no matter what set you get... Oh, wait, what? Wait, did I use all my resin? Condensed resin? Shit. Did I? Oh, yeah, whoops, I did. Okay, whoopsie. Yeah, and I used the 40 that I had. I had 40 resin left over. I was gonna say, like, what the fuck, if I only get one? I'm like, oh, okay, I ran out of condensed resin. Got too distracted while talking. So, like, it's one of these sucky things, because it just reinforces just a negative feeling. So, sure, if you have, if you are one of those rare people who actually needs both, I need to start farming more crystal flies again. Getting close to 100. Well, I mean, I have 158, so it's not like super low, but I need to kind of get in the habit of collecting more. But, so yeah, like, artifacts in general are a lot of, like, negative shit. Because it's like, oh, okay, do you get the artifacts that you want? No? Okay, well, that sucks. Does that matter? Kind of matters, I guess. Like, it's getting the set you want. It's, hello there. It's getting the set you want. So even if you get the set you want, you're like, oh, cool, I got the set I want. Then it's like, oh shit, is it the piece I want? So like, I need a goblet. Attack percent is good. Holy shit, those subsets are dog shit. Now, I'll still build it because it's better than what I currently have, which is an HP percent. And the fact that it has elemental mastery is at least kind of good. But again, it's another instance where it's like, oh, cool. You got something on the set you want, but it is almost as trash as you could possibly make it. Now, it has the correct main stat and at least one subset that's good, but like, it's absolutely dog shit. So that kind of does... I can see why people, why it sucks. Because it just feels like shit all the time. Because even if you get the set you want, it's still not good. You're still like getting absolutely fucked by so many other things. So I can see why that just doesn't feel well. So it's like, yeah, you have to roll a 50% chance of getting the set you want. Then, like, if you need something specific, like I need just mostly sands and goblet. Jesus Christ, look at those substats; those are absolutely shit. Now I wouldn't use this anyway because I need attack percent for Chasca, but it does suck, when you have to roll the dice. When 50% of the ones are not going to be helpful, and that 50% is just like that. Like that's all it is. It's just the 50%. But there's also the fact that like you still need so much more. Like you still actually need the correct stats and shit, and you're just not likely to get that. Like so for me it's worse because I actually only need goblet and sands. So even if it's on set, I have to. It's a 50. It's flipping a coin if it's a set you want, and then it's rolling a 5-sided dice. So for the first time, like I got absolutely fucked. I lost both coin flips. But so it's rolling a coin, it's flipping a coin, then it's flipping a coin with slightly less odds because it's a 40% chance of getting one of the two of the five pieces I actually need for the set. So, like, that's the kind of shit thing where it's like, ah, damn it. Is it taking this long? No, of course. Like, I'm blasting through it, so it's whatever. But, like, it just kind of sucks, right? Because, like, you're spending resin, especially as, like, a free-to-play. Like, the reason why I'm able to do this is because I've been playing for so long. That actually... that might be a good replacement for Milani. Because I don't need attack percent. So Milani's perfect one would be Hydro damage, crit damage, HP percent, elemental mastery, and crit rate. So obviously crit rate, crit damage on an attack set is classic. You just want that. And then for her, she would want, because Milani scales everything on HP, she would want HP percent and elemental mastery for those vaporizes. So attack percent, I mean, flat HP is not bad. Even if it rolls into it, it's still decent. She just can't use the attack percent at all. Like, so the attack percent is a dead stat. Oh wow, that's a really good support one. Energy recharge, elemental mastery, crit rate, HP. There definitely will be people who can use that. And that's dog shit. So yeah. It's just one of those things where you're just like, it just feels like shit. Because, like, you only need a set. It's the kind of thing it's the kind of thing that's fine. Oh, fuck. It's the kind of thing that's fine if you only need specific sets. Or it's the kind of thing that's fine if you haven't built them at all. Yeah, if you haven't built them at all, damn, I forgot to do her burst. I was trying to do Emil's burst first, and then these two has to have been dead. Whatever. Wrong one. Heal them up. So yeah, like for... Oh yeah. So like, yeah, you're flipping the coin. Are you going to get the set you want? Then it's rolling another dice. Are you going to get the piece you want? And realistically, any piece is fine if it's on set. I mean, like, obviously it has to be the correct stats. Like, so this is Sans, but it's defense percent. And of course it has better substats than the piece that was attack percent. Oh shit, crit rate. That's actually pretty good. I don't really need crit rate. Realistically, you actually want only circlets that are crit damage, because you get a 40% crit bonus as part of the 4-piece set. So this is actually kind of shit. But giving crit rate circlets are relatively fine, because... even if you can't use them for that, they can be an off-piece for someone else. If you can get someone else's substats, or 4-piece from the other sets. That's kind of what I do for my... Like, that's why my Gladiator and Wanderer's Troop crit rate, crit damage hats go on other people. On, like, people who already have their sets built. Because it's just... it's really hard to get crit rate, crit damage hats. It's kind of unfortunate. And so like that, so this is the kind of sucky things. So I'm farming for Chasca. Realistically, I think I got a better goblet for her, so that you can count this as a W. Except the goblet for her is absolutely trash. The only thing that's good about it is the fact that it's a flat attack main stat, and has elemental mastery as a substat. But like, that's it. Like, I think it's completely built out, so I can't do shit with it. And there we go. All dead. So, like, technically, yeah. After spending, like, a few... Let's see, I've condensed... Let's see, so it's 200... I think I've almost condensed 1,000 resin. I think this is my 8th... I think this is my 4th round of condensed resin. So I think that means that this is, that's not terrible. Again, it's the kind of thing I'd want to use on my supports, but both the supports I have that use this set are Geo, so Elemental Mastery is useless. And the fact that you get, like, it's just like, why do you always get defense percent and Elemental Mastery together? Because the only people that benefit from defense percent are fucking Geo. That's it. That's the only people who ever seem to benefit from it. There's never a fucking non-Geo scaling attacker that like does this. It's kind of like, yeah. Okay. We're all dead. So that does kind of suck. Is there any heals left? No. Should have swapped back to her right away to get some her residual heals back. So yeah, that kind of sucked. It's a dead stat, and like I've had so many instances where I'm rolling for a Geo character, and it's like, oh, okay. Not surprisingly, a set that has good main stats and subsets also has Elemental Mastery, and then it rolls a shitload into Elemental Mastery. And you're just like, come on, dude. Like come on, man. Don't fuck me over like that again. So it's unfortunate because like you spend so much time and like that's the wait no is that Genshin or is that Honkai? I think it's Honkai. Damn it. Actually, and look at that, yeah. So I got 3 rolls, cool, three 5-stars, but not the set I want. So I lost 3 fucking coin flips again. Like I think the last two condensed were also this set as well. So the last 7 fucking rolls, that's 7 tails in a row. Not getting the set you want 7 times in a row. Like, it's shit like that that just pisses people off, because that's pretty good. So that's a pretty good support one. For any HP scaling support. Yeah, that seems pretty good. So, I mean, that's the kind of good things. I haven't farmed the set that much. Only farming briefly for each of the characters that could use it. So the pieces they have are not great, which is fine. There we go. And so yeah, when I look at my I have 83% crit rate because of the set bonus. I had 43%. So you just see crit damage. See, that's the thing is that subset, and this is actually a really good crit damage one. Like, well, not really, I guess. Like the fact it rolled flat HP twice, attack once. The fact that it had crit rate on it for crit damage and it rolled at least once into it is good. HP, like flat HP is not terrible because she is an HP scaling thing. But the fact that it rolled flat, I mean, if it was HP percent, that would obviously be better. You know, if it was HP percent and it rolled twice into that would give me more, I think. So that's unfortunate, right? So like if I could swap off that Geo-damage Goblet for Jesus Christ, look at that. Geo-damage Goblet. Oh, look at that. Elemental Mastery. A fucking N. It's always on every fucking Geo thing. Everything that could possibly be useful for Geo always has Elemental Mastery on it. Like, and like, this is after dumping all the trash. So like after dumping every single bit of trash, after dumping all your trash, all you have left are the shit stuff. Like after dumping all your trash stats, so you're like, oh, okay, well this is crap, because like this doesn't have this bonus. Like, these substats are terrible. Like by the time you refine it to just the stuff that has good substats, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? So of the last so as I said, I lost 7 in a row. Well then last time I got 1 of the set I want, and now here we go, double the other set. It's like they know what set you want and just fuck you over and give you the shittier one. And that kind of that feels like it. That feels like shit. You know, it feels like shit when you're farming for one set and you just get like 75% the other set. Where it's like, isn't this a 50% chance? Like, what the fuck's up with this shit? It's the kind of stuff that like it feels bad. Now, statistically, it probably is balanced, right? Statistically, if I did this enough, it would balance itself out. But it's just one of those things that's harder to notice because even when I get the pieces that I want, like, so basically I got that double fuck over, right? The double middle finger from them saying, hey, look, here's these set you don't want. Now I was going to say, oh my God, again, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is, I've gotten fucked every single time, because the way you remember it is you just remember getting fucked. You just remember, oh, I've gotten fucked for the last 20 times. But realistically, you didn't get fucked on the set choice. Like, last time I had something on the set I needed. So, like, last time I did actually get the set I needed. It's just that this time, or not, like, not last time, the time before last, I got the set I actually needed. I got the set I actually needed, but it was shit. So, even though I didn't get screwed on the coin flip for the set choice, I did get screwed on the main set subsets. So, the way human mind remembers that is, oh, I got fucked a shitload of times, right? You just remember, oh, I got the set I wanted, but it was trash. So I got the set I wanted, cool. Not terrible. I'll probably want to. I'll keep it because obviously Sitlolly's coming out. I don't think she's an attacker. I think she's a shielder, so she probably doesn't need elemental damage, and she probably won't even have the attack set at all. So hard to say though. Her kit's not out. Well, I mean, her kit's been revealed, so we'll see how that goes. So. But yeah, like, so the way human mind remembers it is like, oh, I got fucked, okay? I got fucked on the coin flip, and then even when I succeed the coin flip, what I get was trash. So your mind remembers, oh, I got fucked for the last 20 times. Like, so even that time, I was like, yeah, well, that wasn't actually terrible. Like, I could see a use case for that. I just can't think of it right now, because I don't think Sitlolly will use it. Oh, cool, Sands. Attack set Sands. With crit rate, kind of need that. It's, as sad as it is, this is actually better than my current set simply because I haven't rolled it. Like, I have one almost identical to this that has attack percent and crit rate on it, and it has defense percent and I think flat HP. And I think it's defense percent, HP percent, flat HP. And it just rolled everything but crit. So if this rolls into crit at all, it will be better by default, which is sad and pathetic. Like, even if it rolls once into crit, it'll still be better than what I currently have, which is like shit. Like, that's just absolute dog shit. It's such a shit set. But that's just how it is. I mean, and that's why artifact farming feels like it sucks. And that's generally why I don't like artifact farming for one specific piece. And that's why I think Honkai Star Rail does it better. So, like, right now, if I wanted this set, I could. If I wanted that particular set, if I wanted, like, oh, okay, I need a hat, or no, I need a good Sands, I need a good goblet. The only way we have to do it for this is we have to feed 5 stars into the thing, and I think you have to feed like 3 of them, 3 to 5 or something like that. Let's assume it's 3, because even at 3 it's kind of shit, but let's assume it's 3. Let's assume it's 3, but it might not be. It could actually be 5, which would actually make it even worse. But even 3 is kind of shit, because you're putting 3 of your 5 stars, 3 of your shit 5 stars. Now, I've done this a bit, so I have a lot of shitty 5 stars. So you think, oh, cool, it doesn't matter then. You just fodder one of those. Yeah, but, like, you're putting it into a thing that will only give you your set piece, which means you're getting rid of 3 of them. Oh my god, are you kidding me, dude? You're putting in 3 for just your set. So I only need Sands and Goblet. I don't need the other 3. But if I put 3 pieces in, I still have a chance to get fucked, because I only need what I need. I only need 2 of the 5 types of my set. But when you're feeding into it, you just get a random one. So I can feed 3 into it and get the wrong one. And that feels like shit. Like, that feels like absolute shit. Because it's like, okay, those 3 could have gone into artifact experience, right? I always desperately need artifact experience. Oh, that's crap. I always need artifact experience. So I would much rather fodder into something to turn into an artifact experience. And that's the kind of shitty fit. That's the kind of shitty situation you're in. Is that because you're in such a desperate need for artifact experience all the time, you feel like you can't ever roll the dice on that thing. You just feel like you can't, because you're like, well, I don't want to spend my artifacts I have, because if you sacrifice all your 5 stars, sure, you have a bunch of actually, let me just double check. Sure, you have a bunch of 4 stars. Okay, so I have enough space. Sure, you have enough 4 stars to level, but you'll run out of that super quick. You'll pretty much, for all the farming I've done, I'll probably burn through all my artifacts trying to level 1 or 2 pieces. I think I could probably get 1 to plus 20, but if I try to do a second one, I'll run out. And that's what sucks. After all this farming, and I'm only going to be able to level 1 artifact properly, to level 20. So and I might be able to get 2 if I start sacrificing the 5 stars that were shit. Yeah, I might be able to get 2 if I sacrifice the 5 stars that were shit. But that's it. You know? There we go. So if I don't sacrifice those 5 stars, if I sacrifice the shit 5 stars, of which I got most of which 90% of the 5 stars I got were shit, and I'll scrap. And if I do scrap them all, of course it's 5%. If I do scrap them all, for experience, I might be able to get 2. I might be able to get two artifacts, 2 plus 20. And you might be like, well, that's fine then. Yeah, and generally actually is kind of fine, because sure, and generally that is fine, right? Because as I said, 90% of the artifacts I got were shit. So it's oh, okay, well, it doesn't really matter then if you're sacrificing, it doesn't matter if you only get enough experience to level 2 artifacts, if you only get 2 artifacts that are worth leveling. Sure. It just generally feels like shit, because you're always on the back foot, because you need so much. And so if you get something that's, I didn't get anything that's actually good. I got a few things that were passable that I'll replace my Chasca with, but the only reason I'm replacing them is because they're just that shit. Her current set is such dog shit that anything is better. And that's the crap thing, where it's it's not that I got good pieces, it's that it's just an improvement for her dog shit. Her goblet, Chasta's goblet is crap. It's completely useless. I don't even have it leveled because of how useless it is as a piece. So I got something that basically just has the main stat I need. That's it. That's the only thing I got. Was a goblet that has the main stat I need, and all the substats are also trash. So the second I get anything better, I'll swap it, because it is that shit. And so that's what's kind of suck. And the way Honkai Star Rail does it is really good, is because you can sacrifice. You can do the same thing and sacrifice your You can do the same thing and sacrifice your 5 stars into this resin stuff, and you get this resin stuff all the time from events and shit. But also, you could change it so your artifacts are being converted into this other artifact currency, which you can then use to roll for relics. And the cool thing about that is that not only does it let you pick the set you want, but also the specific piece. So right now I'm sacrificing 3 5 stars to get something on the set, and that's it. So regardless, it's fine when you don't have anything. If you're oh, I have a shitload of these and I haven't leveled at all. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You have you have nothing from the set, sure. Like, then that's fine. Like, you can sacrifice a lot of, maybe you farmed a shitload of this other set. So it's really good, like, when a new set comes out, because then you could be, oh, I'll just get that set only, and you, since it's new, you can always use it. But the sucky thing is the way Genshin does it is you can't, any new artifact set doesn't appear to be craftable. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, and of course the sands from the set I don't want actually has better substats and main stats. So it's like, yeah, the one I need is dog shit, and the one I don't need is better. You know? And that's just kind of how it is. So it sucks, right? Like, and so that'll be it for today for the farming. Because I've gotten enough shit, so let me just go. Yeah. So, and so that's the kind of shitty thing, is like you do all of that, and it ends up being mostly shit, right? Like, so like this is what I had, right? It's trash. It's completely trash. And it sucks that, like, after all that farming, and, like, this is the thing I was like, oh, okay, here's another attack percent. It has Elemental Mastery. That's, again, the only good stat on it is Elemental Mastery. And did it roll into Elemental Mastery at all in those 3 rolls? Nope. So now, I only need attack percent, so I have 1, 2. So, actually, no, I guess I get to get about the same amount. Although, as you see, there was a lot more news for this. I only had 1 that wasn't new, so I got 8 new pieces, and only like 6 new here. But so Elemental Mastery, in theory, could be useful because she is an Animo, but you actually want to stack her attack percent because you're doing other elements as well. So realistically, of these 9 pieces, I can only use 2 of them. This is like the other ones, where it's absolutely dog shit, where every fucking stat is crap except for Elemental Mastery. And the stats that aren't Elemental Mastery are the shittiest stats you could possibly get. You could not get shittier stats than that. That is absolutely fucking dog shit. Defense percent and flat defense, are you fucking kidding me for an attacker who's never near enemies? So fucking useless. So, by default, it's this. You know, and I have to roll on this. And I will, because it's like, okay, Elemental Mastery, that's fine. Oh, shit. Yeah, I want to equip it. So, and of course. When I actually roll stats, now it starts rolling into the trash. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, again, what the fuck is up with this bullshit? Like, it's just rolling into the shittiest stats possible. Like, finally, something that's actually good. Kinda. And again, so like, cool, now this has 2 substats that are good. And in 4 rolls, now technically one of those rolls got elemental. So in those 4 rolls, there's 2 Elemental Mastery, 2 defense percent. So not crit rate, the only actually good stat. And so here's my goblets. Now I got more goblets, which is good. So the attack percent is the only one that's actually kind of useful. Animo could be useful. But generally, you still want attack percent. So of these, HP, defense. So I have 2 HP, 2 defense, elements, and 1 attack. So it's like, so this is better by default because at least it's a stat she needs. Crit damage, actually, okay, that's pretty good. That's a good roll. Now, the big question is it going to roll into that at all? Roll into it once. That's pretty good. So in theory, this actually could be pretty good if it just rolls into crit damage and Elemental Mastery. So already it's trash. Already it's trash. Like, you might be like, what? Like, it just rolled once. It doesn't matter because it's... Okay. Well, maybe... So if this has to roll crit damage for it to be kind of okay. Let's see. What do we got? Holy shit, that's actually... Okay, so that's not that bad. Okay. Despite how terrible it looks... And, like, it is terrible. Like, the better one would be, like, if the flat HP, flat attack was, like, energy recharge and attack percent. That would, or actually, it can't be attack percent because it's attack percent goblet. If it was energy recharge and crit rate, like, if you swap, like, obviously, if you swap out flat defense with crit rate and it rolls twice into that, that'd be awesome. But I'd be fine with the HP replaced with crit rate and defense, flat defense being replaced with energy recharge. So having 10% energy recharge and an additional 3% crit rate, that would be good. And that would actually make this a good piece. So the problem is this is kind of like a middle of the road piece where it rolled into what I wanted most of the time. So this is 3 rolls into crit damage, 1 roll into elemental mastery. That's 4 rolls into things I want with only 1 flat defense roll. So you might think this is pretty good, and this I'll be really hard pressed to find something better for the longest time, simply because of how desperate this character is for shit. So, you could at the end of the day be like, oh, okay, well at least you got what you wanted. Sure, I guess, kinda. The roll, of course, it rolled into the shittiest of stats. So this one is absolute dog shit, where it rolled only into the thing I want twice. It rolled into defense percent. Or 3 times? No, it's twice. So it's So twice into defense percent, once into flat HP, and twice into elemental mastery. Now, elemental mastery is good, but again, it's like the goblet, where only 2 of the stats were actually useful. And it rolls 3. Well, actually, this is not like the goblet. It didn't roll as shit as the goblet. The goblet rolled 4 times into what I wanted, 1 time and not. This rolled 3 times into what I don't want, twice into what I want. So it's unfortunate. And the substats are shit. Ideally, you kind of want something like this. Look at Mulani's thing. This is fucking amazing. Has crit rate, has crit damage, has elemental mastery. And the 1 roll that it wasn't into crit rate or crit damage was flat HP, which she uses. So that's good. I haven't attacked Jillian. I could actually probably swap. Actually, yeah, she's attacked Jillian. Jesus Christ. I should probably swap her off. Oh, wait, no, she's not attacked Jillian. And that's her offset thing. That's her offset piece. She's using the thing for everything else. Okay. But this is actually really good for her, too. Not elemental mastery, of course. Of course, the defense percent thing. Again, this is what I say. It's of course, the defense percent one that only works for Geo for the most part. There's only 1 or 2 characters that actually use defense percent while not being Geo. And of course, the Geo defense percent pieces get elemental mastery as a subset and roll into it. So, that kind of sucks. So, elemental mastery, and then 3 times into it, and it's only because it has crit damage. So 2 times into crit damage, but it's still okay. But it's why the fuck you keep giving me elemental mastery, dude? Okay, so this is crit rate, attack percent, it's crit damage. Realistically, this would probably be better. Because let's see, what is she? Oh, wait a minute, what? Oh, shit, I don't need this. Oh, I don't need this hat. I keep forgetting her crit rate is good. Her crit rate is good, but I don't need the hat. Or I could swap this off. Realistically, I just don't need the hat. Because of the set bonus, she's going to get 40% crit when she uses a Night Soul point. So that will actually bump her crit rate up to above 100%. And so even if I lose the 31%, so realistically, I could just add, so I'll lose 8.9% crit rate if I swap this crit damage. And so 8.9, so it'll bump below to 69%. But that's 69%. With the bonus, right? So, and my crit damage will go really high. The problem, of course, is that this has 20% crit damage on it. So even if I swap to a crit damage hat, it's not going to be as good. Let's see, where's crit damage? I think most of these guys. That's the other thing too, is that all these guys have crit rate. Actually, is it sorted by crit rate? Maybe. Did I sort it by crit rate? Oh, I did. Okay, that's why. That would explain it. Okay, crit damage. With some crit rate, actually. That's actually pretty good. I might just swap to that. No, I don't want to swap. Crit damage. With HP percent, I don't really need HP percent. Crit damage. Attack percent. Energy recharge, kind of good. But it's really hard to beat this one that actually has some crit rate on it. And attack percent, so fuck it, let's do that. It's my offset. So here we go. So, wait, what? Only 193? This is crit damage, okay. Okay, so, yeah, so with that 40% I get for her set bonus, she'll bump up to 93%. Realistically, I don't actually need that, so I could probably swap this off for this with crit damage. I lose some attack. I know there's obviously some crit rate, but I right now have 93%. When the bonus comes up, I'll have 93%. So this would bring, if I lose that 9%, it would bring it down to 84 and get 12% crit damage, which will be better. Simply because I don't need 90%. The problem is I actually lose attack as well, because so much of this rolled shit. They rolled twice into HP percent, once into defense percent, once into that. Okay, so that will bring me, with the bonus, the 40% bonus I get from my set, I'll get an 84%, which is really good, and 200%. This obviously could be better. Realistically, what I want is this to be better. Actually, this is really hard to get better because of the crit damage now, and the elemental mastery. This will need to be better. So I'll need to refarm. I'll need to keep farming for this. This is actually pretty good. I don't want to get rid of it because it has attack percent, a shitload of crit rate. Like this one just didn't have that much crit rate as much as this. But this has crit rate, elemental mastery, and attack percent, which are rolled into. Whereas this one just has like this just has higher attack percent, crit rate, and it has elemental mastery as a substat. This just had attack and crit, and that's it. The other ones are shit. And it didn't roll high. It didn't roll as high into either one of those as the feather. So the feather is pretty much solid. I don't really need to change that. Realistically, I could probably change the feather. Let's see if there's a good feather. Obviously, I want more crit rate. Which still, oh, Jesus Christ! I got 2 feather. Ooh, wow! Actually, this could be good. So if this gets elemental mastery, holy shit, this could be good as long as it doesn't roll into. Realistically, I need crit damage. I need a lot more crit damage rolls. Okay, let's see how this goes. 1 crit damage would be really, really, really nice. Shit. I mean, this is still good. This is still ridiculously good. Like, the problem is I'd lose. That's a toughie. Yeah, she needs HP percent. I don't need that much crit rate. That's the problem. So I could get rid of the feather. I could get a better. I could replace the feather with something that is stacked on crit damage. Let's see. Something has crit damage. Crit damage. Nothing. So that sucks. This could be really good if it rolls crit damage. Let's see if it rolls crit damage. Of course. Like, the one thing I don't need on this set. I mean, it's still good. Like, you still want to have. You still want to get your crit rate to up to 40% at least. And getting more crit rate into other things gives me a little more leeway on other sets. So, like this, I don't need crit rate on it. I mean, this is obviously trash. This is really good for what I need. This is really good for what I need. Although it could give me a little more leeway for this. I could find a crit damage hat that doesn't have crit rate, because I'm just getting so much crit rate from everything else. Like, I could swap this off, because, like, obviously the problem with this is it rolls a shitload of Okay, so this has more energy recharge. I think that. Is there any crit damage with... Oh, wow, that's actually... yeah, something with elemental mastery would be good, obviously. I don't need the HP percent. So if I could get something that has attack percent, energy recharge, and crit rate would be good, but that focuses more on attack percent. It's hard to find shit like that. Elemental mastery. Yeah, I want something with the elemental mastery and have it roll a lot into elemental mastery. Like, this is kind of shit because it rolled defense percent way too much. Crit damage. Yeah, these are all shit. These are crit. Oh, this is still crit damage. This is still crit damage. Oh, yes. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess the problem is I keep looking for crit damage, but I'm not gonna see crit damage on a crit damage hat. So this could be good. Yeah, something starts with that would be kind of good, and this could roll crit rate. Huh. Uh, okay, let's start sacrificing some dog shit because I got a lot of dog shit in that roll in that run. Oops, here we go. Now, basically what I'm doing now is if it has two flat stats like this, trash. If it's one flat stat when it has four substats, I'll keep it for now. But if it has a one flat stat and three substats, I'll get rid of it. Yeah. Because it's just because it could roll a flat stat for the second stat for the next one, and then of course if it rolls a flat stat like that, all percent stats at 3, that's fine. This is crap. Oh, and the thing is, if it's crit rate or crit damage, I'll keep it because sometimes even just having that is better than nothing, but not much better. So as you can see, of the pieces I have, I'm getting rid of all but 4 of those 2 actually. Of those 2, let's wait. Oh my god, what the fuck happened? Oh, there we go. That's crap. It's fine. Elemental Mastery is doesn't. I don't consider that a flat stat. Although defense percent goblet with it, defense percent goblet with attack percent, flat attack, and elemental, that's trash. Because if you have defense percent, you want to make sure you have more defense percent or other stats. Getting attack percent, there are so few dual scaling users that is such uselessness. This I'll probably keep because it's an element, because of the type, because it's a goblet that has an element, and the substats aren't terrible. Energy recharge, crit rate are not terrible. Crit rate is not great for cryo because cryo resonance usually. There we go. Jeez. That's crap. That's trash. That's trash. Trash. Oh wow. But HP percent, which is unfortunate. Yeah, look, defense percent. Oh, but element of mastery, of course. Great, awesome. It's mostly because oh yeah, and this is the other thing. If it's 3 stats, but 2 of the stats are crit rate, crit damage, I keep it. Even with a flat stat, you still at least have a 50% chance of getting what you want. And the 4th stat could be good. Hard to say, obviously. It's all like this. You could say, oh well, maybe that's good, but because it's not hard to get something that's not terrible. You can't keep everything. You just don't have enough space for shit. And even okay, attack percent, that's pretty good. Okay, because you have to draw a line somewhere, and so you kind of want to just make sure that you have all the best pieces that you can. You basically want to set yourself up for a really good start. So you want to make sure that okay, cool, sure, you might have, because basically if you have 2 flat stats on with 4 substats, you get a 50% chance of getting screwed. Why even risk that? Now it's 50%, so you could still get really lucky. Like this piece, for instance, could roll a good substat. The 4th substat could be good, like crit rate, for instance, and then exclusively roll into that. You could get that. But the problem is that it also could just as easily roll a flat stat. You could argue that maybe I should level this to +4, and then if it rolls shit, and get rid of it. Maybe. But the thing is, you're just so desperate for fucking experience, artifact experience. That's why I'm sacrificing this for experience. Because it's yeah, I could do that, but I need to farm. Again, this one has 2 subsets, so half of these are shit. So it's just yeah, don't even bother. So that's why it's just. Oh fuck! I have no money. Okay, let's enhance this then. Oh, actually, holy shit! This actually could be good. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Nice, nice. Okay. Let's get that. Oh shit! I should have swapped to this before accepting. God damn it! I wasted the 160, I think, companionship experience. I'm not giving it to my friendship team.
無事今日の依頼を達成しましたね。ありがとうございます。星と深淵。
Okay, so like, and that's the thing is that, now like is Chasca in a much better spot? Yeah, 100%. Like she has a lot. Her her damage ratio is a lot better. It'll be even better once I get the piece I was just leveling. Where are you? Here we go. Oops, shit. Let's get back. Okay, I want to do a comparison, so I want to just advance this to max first. So, like, already this is really good. Because, like, the only shit stat is defense percent. And I understand, like, saying that now is, like, basically just, like, tempting fate. Because now it's just going to be like, okay, now that's what you're going to get. Like, that's going to be the last stat. So, yeah, I understand by saying that I'm basically tempting fate. But, you know, it is true. Okay, so these two flat stats, obviously crap. It'll put me in a bad spot. And that's basically what I've done, is I've gotten rid of all those. Because, like, and this, like, it's just the subsets are bad. Like, so Hydra damage, it's hard to get an Elemental Goblet, but, like, there's just bad substats. Like, at that point, you might as well just go off flats. So, like, for this, obviously, hey, it was a flat stat. But crit rate with crit damage on it, holy shit, that's good, alright? So, like, even when I sacrifice all this shit, like, I still have a few things that are not terrible. And that's kind of the problem, is I just get so many things that are not super bad, per se. But it doesn't mean I have to kind of go through all the, I have to go through the ones I get all the time. And this is where I actually got the most, critical, is, like, for this is terrible. It's defense percent with HP percent and attack percent. It's like, you're not going to scale off all those things. This is useful because it's useful for the set. This is terrible because it's defense percent with elemental mastery and shit stuff sets. So it's these ones I get so many of. Like, this is good. 3 good substats that work for what it is. But yeah, it's because I got so many of these that I have to be far more critical. And so, realistically, I could probably start getting rid of the ones with bad things. But yeah, it's mostly on these ones that I was like, oh, okay, well, if it has a flat substat, when it has only 3 substats, I can get rid of it. Just because I just need the space. So I had to get rid of them. Not really had to, but as I said, I also still desperately need the artifact experience because I have so many. There are so many characters I have that still aren't fully. Oh yeah, crit rate, crit damage on it. No, even with a flat substat, it has the 2 best substats. As you can see, like I have other ones. Crit rate, crit damage with 8%. But whether it's flat percent, flat attack, whether it's a flat stat or a percent, if it rolls into it a lot, it's still going to be shit. Like, it has to roll in crit damage for it to be useful. So it's just setting myself up for a good chance. Now, obviously, with really, really good luck, you could turn around an artifact that looks like shit. Like an artifact that has 1 good substat, and it rolls all 5 times into it. Sure, right? You could have a 35% or 40%, something like that, crit damage. But even with that, you still want the substats to be good. Like, having crit rate, even if it didn't roll into crit rate, having attack percent or HP percent or defense percent, depending on what you scale off of, as the substat. This is kind of crap. As the substat for it, it's still good. So, like, you still want that shit. Okay, so I have 60,000 gold. I'm probably going to need to farm Mora. Yeah, so crit damage with crit rate on it. You want to keep that. You never know. So, like, this is kind of crap. It could be okay. Because, like, it's just, like, defense percent, attack percent, injury reach. It's so generic. But there are some users that do need this. I'm still going to track it, because the flat stat with some generally bad substats are kind of shit. This is kind of shit, too. 2 defense percents, 2 defense stats. Attack and crit are super good, but, like, I just get so many of these. Like, look, here's one that's even better. Yeah, sure, it still has attack, it still has defense and attack. The flat defense and flat defense percent, but as crit rate, crit damage, if it rolls into that, it could still be good. But yeah, even still, it's like, yeah, I'd rather roll on this, right? Where the only shit stat is HP percent. The only shit stat is HP, flat HP. And you never know, right? Because, like, you could roll a shitload of HP, or you could, like, get 1 or 2 rolls in HP, but everything else into crit rate, crit damage. Great, that's good for a Hydro character, scales of HP. You could say the same for this, too. Oh, it could be good for a defense character. Now, the problem, of course, is that the set piece, Elemental Mastery, is useless for defense percent, for defense scaling characters. So you still probably not want it. As an offset, it's fine, but an offset feather is unlikely, because you'll probably want to do an offset for something that's actually useful. Like, that's rare to get. Like, feathers will always be flat attack. So it's relatively easy to find good ones with subs. Yeah, it's easier to roll substats because that's all you're rolling for when you get a feather. You're just rolling on substats. Whereas the goblet and hat have to roll the correct main stat for your character, which, you know, could still suck. Oh, did I already prune these? Maybe I pruned these recently. Probably, actually. I did level Chasca relatively recently. I did level some of Chasca's artifacts, so I probably went through and pruned. This is kind of shit. This. It's also kind of shit for an HP percent. For an HP percent goblet, like, if you're ever going to use it as an offset piece for something, having attack percent is not going to be helpful. Or flat attack, especially. Oh, wait. Here's some shit. Yeah, like, I'll get shit like this, because, like, I do my weekly stuff, and so weekly should be accumulating some stuff like this. But yeah, like, even with all this stuff, even though I've sacrificed and I'm trying to keep only the good pieces, or the pieces that aren't, like, dead in the water right from the start, I still have, like, 1,000 of my total artifact slots filled. Like, it just, these pieces that are okay, not shitty enough to trash, have some potential, but it's the kind of thing where I just don't have enough artifact experience to try rolling in them. Because, like, realistically, what I'd probably want to do is roll these kind of ones to plus 12, see how it rolls, scrap the ones that roll shit into the ones that rolled well, or scrap the ones that rolled shit into another new one to test that one out. And I think that's kind of what the Genshin contractors do, is that because they're spending all their resin, and they're doing that, like, they're refilling their resin with, like, primos and stuff, spending money to refill resin so they can just constantly run artifacts all the time. I'm just never going to do that, because I like the game, but I'm not going to, I like the game, but I don't like it that much. Like, that's a little too min-maxy. Like, I'll eventually get bored of that. I'll try to give the best I can. So I'll go through and prune my shit and farm for a little bit, but at a certain point, I'll just get to the point where I'm like, okay, like, she's good enough. Like, realistically, right now, once I get this final thing leveled, Chasca will be good enough, right? Yeah, sure, a better attack sands would be better, you know? But it's the kind of thing I probably won't go artifact hunting again until Mavica and Ollie come out, and I know what they need, because they'll definitely need that set. They'll definitely need the support. I think Ollie needs the support set, Mavica needs the attack set. So I'll definitely need to farm it, because after, as you saw, after I got rid of a lot of my, after I got rid of all the trash, attack goblet with all shit stats except crit. Nope. 2 good stats, kinda. But defense percent for both of the other ones. Fuck it. Oh, I'm tapped. Into the grinder. Okay, so I don't even have enough experience. I don't have enough money to do the last one. But if I compare, attack percent is better, crit rate is better, and I have elemental mastery instead of. Yeah, so I have defense percent instead of flat defense, and elemental mastery. Oh, I lose energy recharge. That's it. So defense will probably get me higher. Actually, I don't know. Will that give me higher defense? That's actually an interesting question. Let's see. My defense is 948. Because the percent bonus is so low, it's possible. 948. Yeah, so it actually went down because the percent is actually worse than that. However, crit rate is now 45. Elemental mastery is 140. It's decent. I see money. Yeah, so as you see, after all that, because of the stuff I have equipped already on my characters, and the stuff I have, that are in an intermediary step of could be good or could not be good, I have almost 1,200 artifacts that are in a decent state that I wouldn't want to scrap. Like it's crazy. It's crazy that you get more weapons. Actually, no, that's not really, because when you're pulling for characters, you get shitloads of weapons. So the amount of weapons you actually need are very low. But if you pull 100 times, you're gonna get like 90 weapons. So every 5-star character is gonna give you 90 weapons. So I can see if you're just pulling. So yeah. So even with all that, even with all the pruning and all that shit. But even still, so like the crit damage went down a little bit, but like her attack is 2412. If I swap to this one, 2412. So I lose like 40. So I gain 40 attack. I lose a little bit of defense, but who gives a shit? I gain 40 elemental mastery, which if you want to check this. Okay, so with my current elemental mastery, it's 17.8 and 73%. Actually, wait, no, where's Swirl? Oh yeah, Swirl. So okay, yeah, Vaporize Melt is 17%, 17.8, and Swirls get 73%. Okay. So 17.8, 73% bonuses. Now if I swap this back to this, which has 3% less crit damage. I'll get the crit damage back once I level it. But then when I go here, so that was 17.8. So it gets a 5.5. 17.8. So it's a 8.5. No, or 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 increase in vaporized melt, and that was like 73%. So another 30% increase in that. So like that's huge. And all I really lost out was some energy recharge. So that 5% energy recharge on the hat was the only energy recharge I was getting. But the fact is that she's mostly about her skill. She's staying in her skill form, blasting away. So she's when she has her buff up, she's gonna have 85% crit rate. She'll get another 208% crit damage. So she's gonna be fucking stacked with 2,400 attack. That's pretty good. I think this is pretty damn good once this is built. The only improvement could be this. I still want that 40% elemental mastery, so I'll probably look for a Saiyans that has it. But the cool thing is I don't need that crit rate anymore. So all I need now is an attack percent Saiyans that has elemental mastery. That has elemental mastery on it. So this one kinda, except it didn't roll into elemental mastery. So I would need the 2 rolls it has left to both be elemental mastery for it to be better. And even then it wouldn't be that much better because I'd lose a little bit of crit rate, but I don't really need it. Yeah, see, this would be great if it was attack percent and not defense percent. The substats were great on that. So, yeah, it is what it is. What's her defense percent on? Energy recharge. She actually kind of needs the energy recharge, though. She wants her burst up all the time. Whereas this one, it's pretty good for her. It's all attack percent. I would need it to roll all crit rate. And the other, and her, Jillian's one has 10% crit rate, which is tough to beat. Her crit rate's pretty decent, actually. Crit damage is obviously shit, because I don't have to build her crit damage. And the only reason she has that crit rate is because of this, so obviously I could swap it, I guess. But 50% crit rate is fine. It just makes her a passable, because she is still support at the end of the day. Like, I could give her a crit damage hat if I got her on the attack set completely, and then it wouldn't matter, but I don't want her to be I don't need her to be an attacker. I want her more for support. So, anyway, so I thought I would get a little more. I thought that would be super quick. But holy shit, I've been on my treadmill for over an hour, just trying to farm good shit. And to be fair, while I got a ton of shit, like I get a big steaming pile of shit from all those runs. Oh, there. Well, I did get a big steaming pile of shit from all those artifact runs. I did actually get really, really good luck in rolling them. So the fact that it rolled a lot into crit damage, well, rolled twice into crit damage, once in Elemental Mastery. Actually, no, three, yeah, or 2 or 3 times in crit damage. So I think I rolled it as a substat. So, but yeah, I did roll like once. So it might be twice into crit damage, once in Elemental Mastery, twice into defense percent, or maybe 3 times into crit damage, and just all low roll crit damage rolls. But even still, like that's pretty good luck for rolling. This is trash, yes. I mean, it has Elemental Mastery, that's fine, but I knew this was trash anyway, so that's unfortunate. But this actually rolled well, kinda, and this rolled really well into attack percent, Elemental Mastery, and crit rate, which is on a crit damage goblet, which is a circlet, which is really, really good. I have one more roll to do, but I'm unfortunately poor, so I'll just have to wait until maybe later today. If I do more quests and more exploration, I'll get more money, so that'll be fine. I'm not too worried about that. I'm doing well. Did get a little screwed in my artifact farming. I spent like 1,000 resin and only got basically 2 usable pieces. I mean, I say that, but there were some set pieces from the other set that could possibly roll well. So it's not a complete wash, especially with Sitlali and Malvika coming out. Getting a few extra pieces, it's not terrible. But yeah, got a lot of shit, which is unfortunate, but that's just how artifact rolls go. It's it feels better when you don't need something specific, because then it's like, oh, anything is good. And because Chasca had such shitty goblet and sands, anything was better, but it does still kind of suck that after all that farming, I replaced a shit sands with a slightly less shit sands, but still a shit sands. Like, they're both shit. It's just this one's slightly better because it also has Elemental Mastery in it. Like my previous one just was the exact same, like had crit rate substat, but instead of Elemental Mastery, it was some other shit one that didn't matter, like flat HP or flat defense. It's like, oh, okay, well that's useless. Where is it? I can scrap it. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, here. Oh, yeah, I didn't even bother fully leveling it up because it was such trash. This is what she had before. So I maxed out something else because even though it didn't roll into crit rate at all, like the other one, at least it rolled Elemental Mastery as the 4th substat and rolled into it some more, which will help her as an Animo DPS. And this, it actually did roll pretty well. Like, realistically, it rolled well 4 times, and like getting crit damage as its 4th substat was really, really good because she has shitloads of crit rate. So having a crit damage, like rolling that was very lucky. And the fact that it rolled pretty much only into crit damage or Elemental Mastery, which are the 2 main things that she needs for an attack percent something, is pretty damn good. The only shit, I mean, it sucks obviously that I have flat defense, flat HP, if that was like energy recharge and something else, like even get HP percent, defense percent, and to replace one of them, or even if it was a percentage. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe percentages wouldn't help as much, but either way, still, she's doing pretty well. She doesn't even need that much crit rate. She could probably, because she'll get a 40% buff with her set, so that'll bring it up to 85%. So realistically, some of these pieces, like this piece, I could not have that. I could replace that with, like if it rolled, if I could have the exact same thing except 3 rolls into crit damage instead, that'd be pretty cool. Because then instead of going to 85%, it would go to 75%. But then she would get, 30% additional crit damage for it. Like this is what I think she had on, but I'm like, oh, I don't need that extra additional crit rate, so I swapped this. I was trying to roll this. This is actually pretty good. Realistically, this is kind of better. I should probably swap to that. It's just that I need the crit damage more than this. Like this would bring my crit rate up to like into the 90s. But I do need that elemental mastery. So like that's the kind of thing is that I don't need the crit rate that this has, especially with this. So if I could get a better feather that roll a shitload into crit damage, then I could swap the feather and then swap. So I swap it. No, I didn't swap it. Because this is just so good. It's not terrible too. Like I guess it's only losing 5%. Let's see. Yeah, I'd lose 5% attack, 5% crit damage, and I would get elemental mastery. Actually, realistically, the elemental mastery just makes it worth it anyway. Yeah, so basically, right now, once I fully level this up, it'll bump my crit damage back up to 200%. But right now, essentially with her bonus, she'll bump up to 98% crit rate, which you just don't need. Like, it's good, it's great to have almost 100% crit rate, but like, if I lost 10, like, essentially the reason why she had this 10% crit rate is you started with a crit rate substat and you rolled twice into it. So I could replace that 10% crit rate with a like 21% crit damage, and that would be just so much better. But the problem is there's no other pieces that are decently good. I think I only rolled like one other one, and this just has shit substats. I don't need that. It'd have to roll crit damage and then roll only into crit damage afterwards, which is like, could it? Yeah, sure, could. But shit, I don't want to do that. Oh, I can't even send it to +4. Oops. So yeah, I guess I'll leave it at this for now because realistically, this is really, really good because it's the elemental mastery. Like, it's the crit rate is insane. Like that amount of crit rate is insane. It's like 4 rolls into crit. No, it's 3 rolls into crit rate, 1 into elemental mastery, and maybe if it I think it rolled twice into elemental mastery, once to get it as the 4th substat, and then once again, and then 3 pretty max rolls for crit rate. So that's really, really good. And now, yeah, that's really, really good because it was like 23% bonuses. That gives another 10% bonus to vaporizing and melt. Another like 30% bonus or something to swirls. So at this point, the only thing I need to swap is a better Sands. Basically, a Sands that has that much elemental mastery or more, and crit damage. Like basically, I just need to offload these crit rate pieces and get something with crit damage, and then I'd be amazing. Oh, I lost a little bit of attack. 2300 is still pretty good. 2200 still would be fine. And we'll see how this rolls. I'll need one more thing for that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it with that. I was on my treadmill for like an hour and a bit, then chatted a little bit, but I need to go shower and get something to eat. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.